B+E
Family! Yo, fam. We are back at beautiful Universal Studios. Fam, it's a hot one today, but fam, we are here enduring the heat so that we can bring you the best tips for HHN. Yes. It's a few days away. We want you guys prepared. We don't want you guys over your head in regards to what's going on, and we want you to enjoy the most of it. So take it from the experts who've done this time and time again. And fam, as always, grab the popcorn, grab the snacks, and strap in. Let's go. All right, fam. So coming in at number 10, before you get into the park, you want to go ahead and grub. You want to have that dinner. You want to have that meal inside the park because you do not want to waste precious time, getting food. Yes, there's lots of restaurants. There's a lot of great places to go ahead and grab some delectable eats and some drinks.
Yeah, but look how packed the park is, guys. It's a regular day, not HHN. So be aware that there are going to be large crowds at HHN, guys.
Yep.
And
So
you want to maximize your time for all the mazes as well.
Yeah, you don't want to be hangry here. That's all we're saying. So with that said, let's move to the next spot, and then of course talk about the next tip.
That brings us to our next tip, fam. Check the weather on the day that you're gonna come to Horror Nights.
Ooh, that's a good tip, fam. Just because we're in beautiful Southern California doesn't mean it's always sunny. It gets really hot during the day, it takes a while to cool off, and then the evenings get really chilly. So
for the most part though, but it can be a variation of hot or cold.
And the occasional rainstorm. So check that weather, and check it one last time before you head out, fam. So with that said, let's move locations and then of course cover the next tip as well.
Fam, do not forget your wallet or ID when coming to HHN.
Look, I know it sounds simple enough, but fam, in the rush to make it here, to get here early enough, all the other tips that we're gonna cover, you may forget your wallet. You may forget the fact that you need, your quiche to go ahead and get you some of the adult bevies, which of course that's why you need the ID to get in.
Right, and make sure it's not expired.
That one too. Even if you're, a pass holder, you're gonna need your ID to go ahead and get in for the parking as well.
Yeah,
so.
and then that brings us to our next point is budget your trip, you guys.
Yeah, so fam, again, even though you get here early, hopefully you eat before you come in, but you're gonna get thirsty, so you're gonna want to go ahead and pick up a drink, an adult bevy,
plus
the merch,
parking, you guys.
Yeah, fam. So again, all the things you got to keep in mind, all the things you got to budget, even though you already maybe have bought the ticket or will be buying the ticket, which of course we got to cover that in the next tip. Okay, fam. So clearly, like we just mentioned before, the big tip, of course, is stay hydrated. You don't realize that underneath all the special effect lights that they have, you are constantly cooking. And even though it's outside and it gets cooler per the evening, by the time you realize you're thirsty, you may be in a dire situation.
Yeah, that's true. And a lot of us are not used to walking long periods of time anymore since the COVID restrictions. Maybe this is your big event after all what happened last year. So
pretty much.
Remember to drink some water, fam. Yep. Very important.
Okay, with that said, we got to cover the next one. The next one's important, just as that one. So let's go, fam. Let's go.
Is the Universal Pass worth it? And what would you say to somebody that's debating buying the pass?
Well, the Express Pass is what she's referring to. And look, the reality is if you can swing the additional 130, because that's the average price for it, I want to say yeah, because look, there are limited mazes that you can go ahead and do. Yes, you can do some rides, but there are so many people here on the event.
It is a very popular event, guys. Maybe one of the most popular Halloween events in Southern California. There's going to be crowds, guys. And if you don't buy the Express Pass, then you might risk not going to every single maze.
Right. So with that in mind, that leads us to the next tip, fam. The next tip, like I was mentioning, is if you can, buy your tickets online. Reason being is because you can actually get in an hour earlier before the event actually officially kicks off, which is 6 p.m. And of course, that hour is going to go ahead and be a godsend, honestly, and what you're able to go ahead and do.
You're not going to be waiting outside trying to buy your ticket in the ticket booth. You're already going to be experiencing everything that HHN has to offer.
Exactly. Because let's face it, you're going to want to go ahead and go on mazes. You're going to want to go ahead and partake in some of the bevies, even though we recommend you should eat outside and drink outside. There's lots of things to do. Let's face it, it's your event. You've been waiting for it. You got to do what you got to do, but you want the most time because that window that you have for the evening goes by so fast.
That is so true, though.
All right, so fam, that also leads me into the next item. So let's go there. All right, fam. So the next tip in itself is the rides. Let's face it, Universal has some amazing attractions here that you want to go on. And you know what? If it's possible, if you can come back any other day, go ahead and do it because the rides are going to be here. But what isn't going to be here is those mazes. You really want to knock them out.
So
they are amazing, fam. They are utterly amazing in regards to all the attention to detail. I mean,
or if you want, wait for the end of the night to do the rides once you've already knocked out the most popular mazes or the most interested in.
Ooh, very true. true. And then, of course, I think there's still more tips to cover.
There's a lot more, so let's go.
Fam. But if you're enjoying the tips, if you like the tips for not only here, for the other parts, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, smash the notification bell, and well, fam, let's cover the next tip.
One of the most important tips for HHN, I would say, is plan ahead, fam. There's a lot of things to do, and you want to have a list or a game plan of the most popular mazes or the mazes that you're most interested in.
Covering the next one that you much need.
Another thing that I've been thinking about is cute or comfy.
Ooh, okay, go comfy. Look, again, we mentioned the weather is not the best at times. It's gonna be hot, it's gonna get cold. You wanna make sure you're comfortable. You know, people wanna dress up for the photos, for, you know, TikToks, videos, everything
comfy
like that.
Shoes, you guys are gonna be walking a lot. It is a lot of walking, especially in the Terra Tram. That whole entire area you're gonna be walking in.
Yeah, so, you're going on a hike. You're going on a hike if you do
basically.
That. Not to mention you're already on a hike going through like every place, every maze, and waiting in that line. So go comfy. Please go comfy.
That is the way to go. All right, fam, so the number one tip that we have for you guys is arrive at the park early. At least plan 1 hour.
Yeah, fam, you want to make a time for pretty much traffic to get here in itself. Again, if you buy it online early enough, like we mentioned in the previous tip, you know, you're gonna be able to get in earlier. You want to make time for the parking, for the line to get in, clear security. You want to make sure that you have the most time to go ahead and do everything. One of the items that, you know, that most people just like can't fathom, especially the crew members, the scare actors, is they see people in line at 8 o'clock trying to buy their ticket outside. You've already wasted so much time because by the time you get in, clear everything, you've wasted waiting time to get into the mazes, and you want to clear as many as you can so you can actually have that time to go ahead and enjoy the park fully. Now, fam, I do have a bonus tip for you, fam. And again, this is coming from experience, from being here year after year. Fam, if you're gonna enjoy the shows, especially the Jabberwockies, which is an amazing show. We've gone to Vegas so many times to see them perform. It's amazing when they do it here. Go ahead and catch the final show of the evening. It's less crowded because everyone's usually either stuck in lines at the mazes because they didn't follow these tips, or trying to ride rides.
Yeah, or the early birds have left by that time.
True, fam. But as always, like I mentioned before, don't forget to like button, subscribe if you haven't, smash the notification bell.
Thank you guys so much for watching, guys, and we'll catch you in the next video right
and at
here.
Hollywood Horror Nights. Heck yeah, fam. Let's go.